Zack Snyder. Can't believe I'm here sitting with you talking to you. This is absolutely great.
Awesome.
I want to start by just asking, this movie is massive in scope and scale, and you have great experience with working with massive movies and massive IPs in the past. How did those experiences help inform you taking on Rebel Moon and building something wholly original?
They were absolutely key for me as far as, I guess, even just doing like Man of Steel, starting from Watchmen, frankly, or even 300 if you want to go
I would
all
go
the way
as high
back.
there, yeah.
The fact that we have the making of art book for pretty much any movie I've ever made kind of is testament to the amount of world building we've done in the past. And when it came to this, we ended up with two making of books because it's so insane. But all of that sort of the normal methodology we use with like the cadence I have with concept artists and the cadence I have with the costume designers and that kind of back and forth and how I draw and they draw and I draw and we have a conversation through illustration and photo reference and all sorts of things. That's really like it's a learned skill, but it's also a very real skill. And it's really allowed me to kind of have a shorthand and also because you need a shorthand when you're doing that much volume.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Thank God I had that training because it'd be really hard otherwise.
Oh, I can imagine, and I love that you in this production you seem to wear so many different hats. You're writer, you're producer, you're cinematographer, you're director. Why was it so important to take on all those roles? And is there any role that you're still learning from, or you find challenging?
Yeah, I feel like look, the truth is they're all challenging.
Yeah.
Sort of director, cameraman, director, cinematographer as a singular position is I find really interesting. I find them really closely linked, from my point of view.
Right.
And so, but the challenge is, of course, what I like to do is blur the line between the two, and it makes without trying to really separate them. When you really separate them, it's much harder, because the responsibilities are really split.
Yes.
But when I really jam them together,
you start to bleed the lines.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I'm learning in sort of a new craft to this director cameraman sort of position. So that's challenging still.
I can imagine, and also like just commenting on your camera work, like I've always loved how you can go deep focus, but then you also go really shallow, and you really do love to focus on like the details of every shot. So there's a nice balance between that you see in a movie like this, because there's just such an epic scope to it. This is obviously a big franchise. There's more stories to tell. What are you hoping people will take away from Rebel Moon?
Yeah, I hope that they take away, well, first that they have been enjoyed the experience of watching the movie, but that they are left with some questions and some hunger to for more. And I think that really the best sort of franchisable ideas really are all about that kind of momentum, kind of driving you, satisfying you, but driving you, constantly. And I think that this world really has a great that idea is pretty custom to this to the world that we created here. That you finish the movie but be like ready to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, listen, I really value the time that I had here to chat with you. I haven't been doing this long, but talking to filmmakers, I have a bucket list, and you are 100% on that list. So today I get to cross that off. So I really appreciate it, Zach. Awesome. Thanks, man.